It's 9 in the evening, 24 degrees outside. That bloody thing there sounds like a bloody focus itch. This thing sounds like an old compact in the toilet stairs. Windows open. Yeah, in England, this is considered hot. Hot, okay. Really hot, and this is the time I decide to make a system tour, because I feel like I didn't make a good enough explanation in the last one. So, was really good, because the reason why I'm doing this, I did the whole room and I didn't feel like I went into detail about all this enough, and I do have actual software now, so I will put all the different games and models up, whatever. Alright, let's get started. First thing you saw, thermostat, just make sure that all this don't get too hot, because one of my mates does the record collector as well. If from his experience, if the room gets too hot, your records start warping, and I've started having experiences myself. So I hate the autofocus on this. So this little thing, this little dude here, it's just here to let me know if it gets too hot. All the singles down there, at least over 100. Right, let's actually get talking about the stereo now. So first off, my turntable, the Rega planar one. I acquired it near towards the middle of 2019. I'm trying to get the camera focused. Yeah, I've actually done a few things to it. I've installed a cork slip mat, because let's just face it, filter slip mats are crap. I really don't like them. They stick to your record and they just get hair everywhere. Another thing, I hate focusing with this camera. I've mounted an 1895E on here. 1895E cartridge. Sounds so much better than the carbon in my opinion. It doesn't have much lisp. It's perfect in my opinion. I've said that a lot. Deal with it. Yeah, got it at the end of 2019. It's actually been my favourite piece of equipment up until recently, until I acquired that thing. And let's actually get talking about the stereo. So let's start at the top. Here we have a speaker box, because I have more than one set of speakers, and probably by my birthday I have another set. So this essentially allows me to switch between the white ones and the big ones. Bluetooth thing. Focus, you idiot. Yeah, Bluetooth thing, green. Can't quite remember which model it is. I only mainly really use it when my mate's around, because my other mate, because he doesn't have any analog formats, and we all know analog is far more superior than digital. Focusing. Above. The TV, I don't really use it as a TV, it's just a giant monitor. Yeah, Netflix, Xbox, what have you. Alright, let's actually get started. I've said that about 100 times now. I don't just give up making this video. The MiniDisc recorder, I think it's the MDS S37. This has had quite a few things done to it already. I'll tell you one thing. The most difficult thing to do on one of these is change the record head. I've had to do that because I don't know if I can actually find it, because I know I've got the actual record head on my disc. No, I haven't. It's flying off somewhere. But if you actually get a MiniDisc out real quick, and my red one, or if you have a look at a pre-recorded one, there's no flap on the top. On the top here, when you take this down, it's like you think there's two discs in there, but there really isn't. There's only one. The top part is the magnetic side, and that's what's used to actually write the data on there. And that underneath here, that's where the disc is read from. It's basically heated up near what they call the Curie point, and yeah, it heats the disc up, makes it easier for the magnet to move the particles around it and records. Another function I've been using this for, if we look around the back, I've got I don't really know, you can't see it, but there's an optical cable running from the CD player to the MiniDisc recorder, and that essentially means that if I'm playing a CD, see if I can actually focus it here. If I do that, that essentially means I'm playing a CD, I'll switch it down to MiniDisc on the amplifier, That's essentially me using this as a DAC, or a digital to analog converter. And in my opinion, this one actually, the DAC in this sounds far better than what's in the CD player, so I've been doing that a lot more, but I do have a bog standard analog cable running to the amp just in case. Talking about the amp, here it is. The best amplifier I've had. It's the Sony, the actual model number has rubbed off here. It won't focus, you silly thing. But it's the TAS2. It's a MOSFET based amplifier. So I would like to actually get myself a tube amp or a power amplifier, because just in case I get some bigger speakers that these can't power. But yeah, I like this one because it has a load of inputs, and at the back it also has inputs and outputs for a graphic equalizer, which I will acquire one day and actually just mount it underneath where the turntable is. It's a really nice sounding amp, goes quite loud. The actual volume control, see if I can actually grab the remote, and the remote's quite nice, it's got a metal face and that. But if I actually do the volume control of the remote, it actually moves the volume down. That is really nice. You only really say that on high-end amps. I mean, this is a high-end amp, what am I talking about? Now moving on, radio tuner STS1. I don't really use it a lot. I mainly use it when I'm studying, because that means I don't have to attend the stereo when I'm working. I can just like set this up, turn it on, leave it, get on with my work and come back and put something on. On PSY, it's actually got programmable presets, which is what I really like. I've got Talk Sport, Smooth, Radio 5, BBC Essex, all the stations I really need. I mean, the reception is god awful on the long wave, but I don't really care. The CD player, I've actually started getting into CDs a bit more now. This is the CD PS1. Just so you know, all this equipment was mainly made around the 90s or early 2000s. That's, in my opinion, when the golden age for stereo equipment was. The CD player, it has, I don't know, because I don't know what that is, pulse stereo converter. I don't really give a ying or what about that. The AMS dial on this, so I can focus it, that's as far as it'll go. This is really dodgy. Sometimes it goes forward, sometimes it goes backwards, whatever you. It's just awful. So, I mean, most of the time I just use the remote anyway when I'm programming. It does shuffle, program, it does repeat as well, but that's only activated through the remote. Right, that's it for that one. The cassette deck, if you're a techmoan binge watcher like me, or a techmoan addict, this looks very familiar. This is the actual tape recorder he used in his better Think You Don't Remember video for cassettes. It's really nice. It's got the memory, it's auto reverse, and most importantly, see if I can focus the camera, no it won't focus, but it has Dolby S. In my opinion, the best noise reduction sounds absolutely phenomenal. AMS on this one's really handy as well, so I can just skip between tracks without really guessing where it is. I just press play, press that, just set it fast forward to the next track. It's perfect. It's got the full analog record level, which I really like as well. I don't like these new cassette decks where it does it all for you. I'd much rather do it myself. The unusual thing about this one is that it actually opens via a tray. Funny story, a relative of mine can't distinguish, if I turn the actual stereo off, a relative of mine can't distinguish the difference between the CD player and the cassette deck until I turn it on, because if you turn the tape recorder on, of course you get the meter. CD player, when you turn it on, it says no disc, so what have you. Yeah, and actually, just mentioning of the amp, I've had to replace the relay in it because I can't quite remember, but someone has the same stereo as mine, and he had a problem with the relay making a rattling noise. 4 weeks after I've had the system, I had the same problem. I repaired the relay, and this sounds absolutely amazing. I love this system. Best system I had. I would show you the system that I had before, but all I remember is the model number, which is the MHC NX3 AV, which is what the speakers came with. Actually, talking about the speakers, these are, I think they're the SSNX1 bookshelf speakers from Sony. These things are absolutely ginormous. Bear in mind, these things came with a mini system, not a MIDI, a mini. I mean, in the early 2000s, mini is quite big by our standards, but yeah, the speakers are quite big, about the same size as my hands. Got tweeters as well. Nothing much to say about it. Put the grill on before I damage it even more. Try doing this with one hand. And at the top here I have the realistic from Radio Shack, the Minimus 77s, not the Minimus 7s. The 7 ones are far smaller than these. These are broken. The foam around the woofers is actually rotted. I would take the grill off, but these are a real bugger to actually get off. At the moment they're just functioning as super tweeters. Angler Dialogue actually did a full separate video about super tweeters, so I recommend you go and watch that, because he does a far better job at explaining than I would ever do. Anyway, let's do one final overview of the system. I know this is not going to even be in focus when the video is actually put up, but there it is, the full system. Hope you liked it.